Hey, what's good? Hey, what's good? What's good? Let me know. Answer me. What's good? How you doing? Hope you're doing all right. Um, you know, these days a lot of people ain't. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people ain't doing all right. So I mean, it's worthy to ask that. I gotta ask you, man. Are you doing good? If you're not, I hope this video can, for whatever reason you clicked on this video can help you out in whatever way you're looking for, and that God can direct you to wherever He's trying to direct you and let you know the information that He's trying to let you know. And if it's through my video, then it's through my video. And I think that's just good because I can talk and talk, and when I say things, they can be picked up by other people, maybe even years down the line. Or just some like one random stray person just picks up the video and is like, it's like me personally. I think that's cool because I've watched videos that had like almost no views, and they've taught me something or it gave me some type of entertainment value or whatever it is, and I've engaged with those videos, and I was like, I didn't expect it because like, well, why would that be the case? We have like no viewers, you know, but it was actually good. It's happened many times, so it's cool to see that. But what I'm going to be talking about in this video is, it's kind of like a repeat-ish of other videos I've made. It's kind of like a mix between the videos, like there's a video on my main channel about, gaming and how you're supposed to, how gaming teaches us about, living life, to not chase pleasure, but to live it and actually do something, like that there's a point to it, as though there's a point to games. Why do we make a point to games? Well, because naturally, we also need to find meaning. So why do we play games? For a purpose. There's a reason for it. And then also, it's a mix from that video, the video where I talked about, the video games, and also the video where I just in general talked about that same topic. Like, I talked about living your life. I think the title is something like God wants you to live your life or something like that. And then also, it's a mix between another video. The video is the one where I talked about letting God handle it. So that one too, because kind of like they're sort of mixing into the video. So I guess my point to make this video is to kind of say that you should make sure that you not only live life, but that you are not worrying about life while you're living it. And you'd think these are two separate topics, but they kind of go hand in hand, because the main topic I'm trying to talk about, because I'm sort of side on the side topic, but it just fits. The main topic is about how we need to start living again. We start living. Many of us are just husks going throughout the world, and it's like we're just waiting for death. We need to start living again. But then the second part comes in. And this is more why I include the second part. It's more practical. It's like, okay, practically on living, how can you do that right? And then that's how we go into the second topic, being that we need to put our focus not on the things of this world. And that we need to understand that we need to let go. And that's how we're able to live our lives. Because we can't truly start living, truly start doing, unless we put away the ego. We let go of the analysis paralysis, and that's what keeps a lot of us stuck. The analysis paralysis keeps us stuck. So, story time. Here's my story time for the video. I don't think I always do story times for the video, but I got a personal story for this. We're getting a little real this time. We're getting a little honest. We just sharing some stuff. I'm being vulnerable. I'm sharing stuff. So I recently, as you do, as a video game enjoyer, as someone who enjoys video games, even have a gaming channel, hey, I bought a new game that I was kind of like, excited about and all that. And, I played it. But here's the thing. I didn't just play it. I played it. So let's do a timeline here. I got it a certain day, right? And then that evening, right, I played it all the way into the night. So I got it like midday. I played it all the way into the night, right? And then I also played it into the morning. So I played it way too long. And then I ended up going to sleep late. By the way, I could afford to do this, okay? Most people can't. Okay, so I had the luxury of being able to do this. And I played into the morning, right? And then I went to sleep, woke up at, sometime in the afternoon, and, got a little bit of sleep. Didn't actually get a lot, funny enough. And then, oh, no, wait, sorry, there's a big part. I did try to wake up at a certain time within that, and I just slept through it. So, yeah, I did get a decent amount of sleep. Okay, forget what I said there. I did get a decent amount of sleep, okay? Unscripted, by the way. We didn't even do an intro for this one. Anyways, I did that. I wake up. I'm like, okay, let's play the game again. And I play it again. And I play it again, right? I play it again. And this time, I played until the next day, and I even play it for 24 hours plus, straight. I just play it straight for 24 hours till the next night, and then I go to sleep. And guess what I do after that? I wake up after getting like 3-4 hours of sleep, and I play it from like around 3 a.m. in the morning or something, the whole day until the nighttime. These are events that transpired. Now, here's the thing. This is more like a elevated version or elevated place that kind of, it's more like this event has opened up my eyes to the mindset I've had for a while. And I didn't do like this type of stuff before, like recently before, right? You know what I'm saying? We gotta cover that up. Hey, don't worry about that. Anyway, so, sometimes, I made sure, it was an eye-opening thing, because it opened my eyes to the fact that even though I didn't go that far, as in like it was a big show of what the problem was before, I was also doing that with like other games, other activities. And in general, I was doing that type of attitude. Sort of the attitude that came behind it. I had long play sessions before, long even just watch sessions. For weeks, months, I had this vibe. Even when whether I have work, whether I don't, whether it doesn't matter what it is. I'm chasing the pleasure. I'm chasing how much fun can I get, and how much pain can I avoid. And that's the thing. It doesn't matter which part you're chasing, whether it's money, fame, adoration, all these different stuff. They're never going to fulfill you. At the end of the day, they're not going to fulfill you. So chasing all these things, chasing all the pleasure, and even chasing all the work, like I'm gonna work hard, I'm gonna grind, even that does not fulfill you. So let's go back to the equation. What I'm trying to say with this. So with me doing that event, it opened my eyes to the fact that, wait a second, my mindset was like toxic. I also felt that time was sort of needed. Like it was needed. I needed to understand. I needed to understand what the pursuit of pleasure gains you. And funnily enough, it gains you diminishing returns. You think, I'll just chase this pleasure, chase that, chase this, chase that. But it gives diminishing returns. And this also goes for so many of these other things. Whether it's chasing work, and work as hard as possible, diminishing returns. You're going to find it's not as thrilling anymore when you get used to it, right? You get used to it, it's not as thrilling, right? Like it's just like, you work out every day. First times when you're working out, it's crazy, but like, after a while, it's like, it's whatever. But it's not about that fact that's just how it is. It's more about how you put your value into that. Of course, we'll get into the video of like, what do you put your value into? I'm not gonna get too into that. But here's the main point. The main point is to say that you gotta start living your life. You gotta start living it. You have to, and this gets on to also the second part, give it to God. Because you can't live your life if you do not first give it to God. That was profound. I, I trust me, I didn't mean to say that. I did not even mean to say that. It just came out. I did not mean to say that, but I'll say it again because it was fire. At least I hope I can say it again. Okay, let me show. You can't live your life. You can't truly live your life unless you first give your life to God. And better yet, you can't live unless you first give your life to God. So that's what I've been realizing here. That you gotta take away the ego. You gotta take away the fantasy. We're online all the time. We have fantasies, we have these ideas in our head of how we want our lives to be. We see people doing all these things. We see, all these people who have all these rich people who have all these cars, who are doing all these experiences, who are, even people in like shows and movies that you watch, who they're doing all these things. Maybe it's just like the adventure, like they're going on a grand adventure, and you want to be able to do that too. Maybe it's something where it's like, the guy gets the girl, and you're like, you want that too. You see, even if it's kind of wholesome things, like you started a family, you're doing good stuff, you're saving people, you want to do that too. You get jealous, whether it's real person or fiction, right? Maybe it's as simple as like, this person just has something that I don't have, whether they're a character or not, or just a real person, right? They have something I don't have. But what you have to do is we're referencing everything now. Like my video that said you need to put your trust in God. Like my video that said that you have to pull. At least I think this is what I said. You have to pull away from the outcomes, the connection you have to this fantasy you have in your head, this fame, adoration that you want, this grand adventure you want. This is a thing where you don't have full control or say in the matter. So pull out from the outcome. You may be in the hero story, not as the hero. As in, maybe you're not getting that grand adventure. Maybe that's not happening. Because like I said in the other video, I've said it many times, it doesn't really matter whether you're the hero or not, because if you're in Christ, you're already saved. So what are we doing worrying about whether this thing happens or not? This fantasy comes to fruition. I have this thing. I have the adoration from people. I have these goals, like whether it's starting a family, whatever, or it's you want to have financial goals. You want to have just a goal. Like there's some goal you want to do, right? Now it's fine to work on your goals, but the connection. For example, my videos, I could have a connection to whether I get views or not. I got a connection. And I find it funny because I've been getting better at just not caring at all. And I think the reason why is because I decided to just private a bunch of videos and just do these videos. That's why. I just decided to sit down and record. And that showed that I truly did not care about just getting a bunch of views. That I cared more about being authentic and sending a message. That's what I cared about and care about. So, what are my practical tips? What are my ways that I've been thinking about these for a while, but what are some ways that I've thought about, but they're also biblically supported? Sadly, I do not have the scripture. I'm sorry. Sometimes I don't got the scripture. I'm sorry. But if it comes up, sometimes it'll come up. I'll just gotta say it. So maybe I got it. But here's what I got. I'll just say what I got. All right. So there is a very good way to get out of this mindset that you've got to have all this fun, or you've got to do all this work, or you've got to have this type of money to pull out from the outcome to truly live. And it comes with togetherness, being like, okay, I need to pull out of that and in turn live. I mean, to pull out of the the goal, the connection that it needs to happen, and pull more into living my life fully. And it's a long process. It's not going to be in a day thing. I mean, I ain't even got there yet. I mean, I'm literally clawing. You know, like I'm clawing up the mountain, trying to get up there. You know, I'm taking it one little grippy grip at a time. So I ain't even got it handled. You know, I ain't got much handled, to be real. But here's the thing. God got it all handled. You expect that one? Maybe you did. All right. Either way, that's what I had to say. He got it handled. Now, let's finish this out to really drive home this point, so we can understand, just in case just in case some stuff was missed here, or I didn't say it perfectly well. Unscripted. Unscripted. So, here's what I'm trying to say, and it kind of like TLDR / let me just put it all out there. So, first off, you need to live your life. How do you live your life? You take yourself and you say, okay, I don't need this, and this. And what happens when you detach from the outcome? Then you're able to do things from a different perspective. Your desire isn't, can I get this reward? Your desire is, what can I do? So instead of thinking, what can I get? Think about what you can do. And I know this because when we think about the journey, when people say the journey and not is more important than the destination, it is unequivocally true, because when you see movies, is your favorite part that moment when they just win? Like, oh yeah, they won. Or is your favorite part probably something else? Maybe where they're struggling. They're trying to get to it. The ending, or they're trying to be the boss. Even if you like when the game is too easy when you're playing a video game, or you like when it's too hard. I don't like when it's either, but if it's a good amount of hardness, it's a little hard. It's not like easy or anything. So that, I think that's good. You want to have a good medium there. You don't want it too easy. And often, since I've watched a decent amount of romances, mostly K-dramas, they have a lot of romance in them. So I know the general romance tropes that they usually use in there. And what I noticed is my favorite parts in those, I be getting bored of them these days. I mean, I don't even know why I be watching so many of those. Not even that entertaining. I just be trying to find something to watch. I mean, I don't know where. Either way, what is the best part about those are two things. When the two main characters who are supposed to be together later on don't like each other, and they're learning to like each other. You're like, wait a second, they kind of learn. They're having the quarrels. Like, it's not super amazing when it's like, okay, they don't like each other, but you're anticipating them slowly starting to like each other. That's one of my favorite tropes. Just starting to slowly and being like, what, and like, not understanding that. And two, when they, as that progresses, they start, getting to the big stuff of realizing those two facts and that they like each other. But that's the key. The build up to it is, the whole build up of just starting to, and just, liking each other over time, after hating each other, whatever, or something like that. You just didn't like each other and you do now. Is just way more interesting than after they already have confessed everything and they're like, cool now. It's like, that can be cool as well, don't get me wrong. But like after that, it's just like, okay, well, it's still interesting, but it's a little less interesting. You know what I'm saying? To say the destination is not really that crazy. I don't know why I use this example of all examples. The destination isn't even that crazy. Actually, I'll use another one. You play a video game, right? And you do all this stuff in the game, but what's the most important part to you? What's the most fun? Is it playing the whole game and doing all this different stuff, or is it the destination of you just beating the game? It's the obvious answer. It's the game, playing the game. So it goes to show you, man. In these examples, I'm bringing them up to say because it's my wheelhouse, right? Actually, I would bring up another one. When I'm editing a video, what's my favorite part? You're probably gonna be able to guess from where I've been going with this. Where I've been going with this will let you know. Is my favorite part where I am editing it and getting all the edits together and smoothing them out and correcting all the problems and, you know, put my mind to it. My mind isn't wandering. I'm focused on a project. I'm trying to get it done, and, you know, I'm going at it, and there's a drive to really get it out, and I'm just driven to get it going, and it's just, you know, taking up, you know, I'm feeling fulfilled in the process. Or is it when the video is done, you know? It's obviously the one where I'm making the video, okay? Like, what's my favorite part of the process of this video, even though I don't edit it? Is it me recording it or me just putting the video out and people seeing it? I mean, it's me recording it because I'm literally sitting here recording and saying the things. I mean, it's obvious, right? Of course, I like the other part, but, you know, it's better. This is better. So we want to enjoy the life without being so connected to what if this outcome, what if that outcome, or this outcome, or what if this happens, or the worries or whatever it is, you know? But then we think, okay, how do we decide what to do then? You know, because, okay, yeah, we're not worrying about things, and we're sitting there like, okay, well, what do I decide to do? Like, I'm detached from the outcome, okay? But that kind of made me not want to do the thing anymore. It kind of made me just feel sad because now I really wanted the thing, and now I'm trying to teach myself not to want it. Here's the thing. You can want something. You can want something, but needing it is a different matter. So you can still want things, but don't need them. Don't need these things that are really not guaranteed to be there. You got to want them. You got to desire them. But you can't need them. And here's the thing. What you want to do, in general, is when you're thinking, like, what do I do? You know, because obviously, like, I thought this, right? I was thinking, well, I obviously don't care. Like, there's a big driver for me when I was trying to get big on YouTube, right? And I was like, well, I'll get there in like a month or two. I'll get big. I'll get big in like a month or two. I'll get big by the end of the year. And when it didn't happen, I had to really rethink things. And it took multiple times for that to happen. It took a lot of stuff for that to happen, but that's where I got. I came from it saying, wait a second. Did I really care about it that much? I cared about it that much, yeah. I cared so much about it that it made me feel horrible about myself. And I ended up uploading less. Even though these videos, I'm not even trying to do them on a schedule, but I'm still uploading more than I used to upload on my other channel and this channel. Like, I'm still uploading more. And it comes from not making a video just to make it, but because I want to, right? And not making it because I'll get a response, but making it because I genuinely want to do the activity of making it. There's activities that you don't want to do, right? And there's activities that you do want to do. But you can't pick and choose and just go for the ones you want to do all the time. Because the ones you don't want to do are not oftentimes, I would say, just sometimes. You know, here and there, you know, it depends. Yeah. Depending on what you do. It could very well be that those things you don't want to do are the things that fulfill you the most. That leave you fulfilled and feeling like you're really doing something. That you're not just a walking husk, but that you're really living. You know? To not separate the good and the bad and say, let's go for the good and no bad. Or let's just go for the bad because why not? To see them equally, To start to see them equally is what you need to do. To see the bad necessary for the good and the good necessary for the bad. Because bad is bad. Bad is not bad without good, and good is not good without bad. We need polar opposites. How would we know? Unless there was an opposite. It would just be what it is. There would be no good or bad because we would have no knowledge of that. That's basically if we were robots. That would be the case. That would be the case if we were robots. But we're not. So, how do I end this off? I'm going to end off by saying this, because I think I rambled on a little too long. I want to kind of end it off on a high note. So what I think we all need to focus on is not trying to do, it's not to change and be like, oh, well, I was doing a lot of, chilling. Maybe I need to do more work. No, not that. Well, I need to go make more money or something. No, this isn't to say let's go try to go achieve something. It's to say, and by the way, it's not a problem to achieve things. I'm just saying, you're like, oh, let's gotta go crazy, achieve something, let's go grind, I'm saying don't do that. So, what we need to do is wake up every day and think, regardless of what is actually on your schedule that day. But how can I make today fulfilling? That's something we need to think about every day. How can I make today fulfilling? Is scrolling TikTok all day fulfilling? I'll bet not. But is doing some dishes fulfilling? Hanging out with some buddies fulfilling? Working on some video content to give to your audience to help them out fulfilling? Learning that new skill you were trying to learn fulfilling? The new hobby you were getting into fulfilling? Meet up with that chick you was messing with fulfilling? Caring for your kids fulfilling? There's certain things you're gonna have to realize that they are fulfilling. There's other things that are not fulfilling. And it is hard to gauge off a glance what is fulfilling and what isn't. Right? So, you really just gotta ask about it. Pray, ask about it. Is this fulfilling? Is this a good use of my time? And when you find yourself getting too much into one or the other, either too much work or too much play, to think, okay, how can I even it out? How can I even it out so that it feels like I'm living, so I can get the bad with the good, so I can get the turmoil with the other stuff? And then also, improvement. I'll add this last thing because I didn't really touch on this too much. Improvement. A lot of times when we don't improve, like our living situation doesn't improve, our life doesn't improve, all these different stuff doesn't improve, we get pissed. And we can't improve everything. But there is always something we can improve. Whether it's in our physical situation, whether it's in our minds, there's always something to improve. There's always some project to work on. So, we need to challenge ourselves. As I've said in the previous video, I don't think that one's public, but I don't know. We need to challenge ourselves. We need to do things, solve problems, I'll reference back to movies and shows and all media, right? There's always a problem being solved. There's always a mystery being solved. There's always something happening that's interesting. Now, of course, it's a movie, don't get me wrong. But in the grand scheme of things, there is something happening there. There's a story through line. There's improvement. There's learning from their mistakes, all that. What you need to do is, of course, yours is probably going to be a slower rate, but just start on some of those things. What are those things that you put off, you meant to do? What are those things that excite you? What are the things that don't excite you? Do them all. Yeah, even the stuff that don't excite you. Do them all. Especially the things that don't excite you, funnily enough. Because the things that don't excite you, things that make you bored, is going to make the other stuff you're doing way better. You got your boring, annoying job you're doing. Maybe when you get home, you'll be more willing to do something else that you want to do. Maybe you're going to learn that new skill that you're trying to learn because Now you're interested. Maybe you do something else. You're like, oh well, I guess I'll do this activity. Maybe today you choose to do that, and that's good. Today choose that. Choose to not put yourself through the ringer, but to take on those challenges. To think about what is it really like to be fulfilled. How can I be fulfilled? And that's something that we have to really live our lives to have any type of fulfillment. But not just fulfillment. We have to live our lives to truly live. I mean, it sounds like I'm making no sense, but hear me out though. We have to live our lives to truly live. And if you think about it, how is your quality of life when you live versus when you don't? Do you want to live your life mildly satisfied, just doing whatever, avoiding all the pain you can with drugs and all that different stuff until you pass away and die? You don't go into any social situations or put yourself out there, so you never get, any significant other or any friends for that matter, because you don't put yourself out there because you're scared, right? So you're just avoiding all the pain, but you just get your weed, your drink, and your favorite pastime. Your favorite TikToker or something. And you can just drink your problems away and just do whatever. That is one option. There's a lot of options, but that is one example option for one of the routes. And the other is maybe put yourself out there. Maybe say that thing you didn't want to say. Maybe talk to that person you didn't want to talk to. Maybe that girl you like. Talk to her. Say something. Maybe treat your kids, like treat them a little bit differently. Maybe you're a little too hard on them. Maybe treat them a little bit differently sometimes. Maybe you could choose to, talk to that cashier you were, that was at the grocery store that, you were too scared to talk to because you're just, that's the only person you're talking to today. Talk to them. Talk to them. Maybe try to be friends with that one person you were really fond of, right? Maybe put yourself out there and do something you don't want to do. Maybe go do that chore you were really annoyed to do, or you were scared to do. Maybe go do that challenge that you wanted to do, but you're scared to do. Maybe sacrifice something to gain something else. There's a lot of topics in this video, but I'll say the way I want to round it out is here right now. It's in this way. Live. Out of everything I said, the most important thing I want to say right now is live. Live. There's no reason to sit back and do nothing. Choose to live. Choose to go out there and, deal with the mobs. The mobs in the game, right? Choose to go out there and farm away, at your job or something. Take that challenge run, that challenge run. Do the speed run on it, Choose all that. Do something different today. Change it up. Work on something. Maybe you don't, maybe when you're on your off days, you don't really work that much. Or maybe you're, just struggling. Maybe your mind's at a loss. And that's why I realized one of the big reasons why I did what I did, right? Like I said, why I did what I did and played so long was because at the end of the day, I was done. I was burnt out. I didn't want to live. And I didn't know what to do. I was just thrown against a wall by the world. And all I wanted to do was just not get hit again against that wall. So it's similar to how people just wash away the worries with alcohol, drugs. Similar. But we've got to live. Maybe rest is fine. And that's why I think, like, it wasn't me pointing this out to say it was a horribly bad thing. In fact, I'm pointing out to say it was needed for me to learn this lesson, and I needed the rest. But now, I've got to live. You've got to live. We've got to live. A quote from my video on my main channel. I think the video is something about, a crazy video game lesson or something. I'll quote from it though. So we have to live, because chasing a life of pleasure, chasing a life that is full of pain, chasing a life, chasing that pleasure, avoiding the problems will only really bring more problems in the end. I messed it up. It's cool. I didn't even say the line right, but it's cool. I was just saying my thing. Unscripted. But let me try again though. So we have to live, because living a life where we avoid what is painful, ironically, gives us more pain in the end. I don't believe that's an exact line, but it's alright. Either way, make sure to live. And keep your head up. Keep it up. No matter what your situation is. I don't care. Keep it up. God's got you. That's a promise. Not from me. That's from Him. That's from Him alone. You may not be able to choose your outcome on this earth, but you have the ultimate say in your outcome within eternity. You can choose today whether you want that outcome or not. That's what I had to say, and catch you guys later in another video.